أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. First, I want to thank you for joining this event, showing your support, generosity, and unwavering commitment to our masjid, our community, even in these difficult times. We are living in an extreme period of disruption to our lives. We have been disrupted from our jobs, our families, and our friends, and from a masjid. However, periods of disruption invariably lead to invention and redefining our collective social standing. At MAPS, we saw this crisis as an opportunity to serve the community, take leadership, redefine our role and perception in the society. We have had to make many difficult decisions over the past couple of months so that we can continue to serve the community, following the example of Prophet ﷺ. Our actions are getting noticed across the state, the nation, and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guiding us. We can see them in unprecedented number of news stories written about us in the media. As I think of my role as a president of MAPS today, I look at it from three lenses. Number one, are we addressing your needs, making MAPS the best place for you and for your children? Number two, are we doing our part to serve the community where we live? After all, we are a blessed community with resources. Number three, are we elevating the profile of Muslims so that we are not seen as a marginalized group, but one that is part of the fabric of the American society, not just in religious circles, but in the corridors of power? Do we have a seat at the table when the decisions that affect us are made? So now, let me briefly talk about each one of these issues. Number one, is MAPS addressing your needs? To show how far we have come, when we started MAPS 14 years ago, we used to have two kinds of programs, a kids program and an adults program. Our rallying cry at that time was, we needed this masjid to be kids friendly. Today, we have Islamic and educational programs for kids under 5, ages 5 through 9, ages 10 through 12, teens and high schoolers. When we look at our adult programs, we have programs for young professionals, middle-aged adults with kids, senior citizens. We also have funeral services to take care of our deceased. Whether you are young or old, each of us can find ways to connect with MAPS and ensure our needs are met. We are constantly looking for ways to address our unmet needs so that we are not staying still. One of them is providing family counseling and mental wellness clinic that is based on expertise in the field of human psychology and grounded in our religious values. I hear many stories of communities in dire need of such service. We are looking to address this. Expect an announcement on this to come out very shortly. To ensure we are investing in a strong grounding of our faith, we just announced hiring of Sheikh Kari Acha as a Quran teacher and to lead us in our daily prayers. Our masjid has become a one-stop shop, whether you want to build spiritual connections, social connections, educational connections, career connections, or civic connections. Number two, what are we doing to meet social obligations? I can say that we are one of the masajids, if not the only masjid in the entire country, that has a deep commitment to service of the community. I recently took part in a survey of Muslim communities that was performed by ISNA and ISPU. This group of people have been talking to major masajids all over the country. When explained the type of services that we offer at MAPS, they just could not believe a masjid so committed to serving the community that it has touched 13,000 needy people in the past year alone, making a difference in their lives. There is a huge need in our communities which may not be visible for those of us who live in the East Side. More than a third of Americans have less than $400 of cash in emergency savings. That's why we have spent over $750,000 in charitable assistance last year to help the people in our own community. I have spoken many times about the services we offer through MAPS MCRC, MAPS Al Sadaqa, MAPS Now, etc. There is a tangible benefit we derive from this commitment to serving the community. There's nothing more powerful when we demonstrate our words with our action. That's why when a patriot group decided to protest in front of our mosque, we had 150 of our allies show up to create a human wall ready to defend their Muslim co-citizens. When I asked them why they decided to show up on a cold Saturday night to stand in front of the masjid, the response was, "We see you serving the needs of our community." And finally, are we moving the needle in terms of our voice being heard when and where it matters? The message from Governor Inslee to our community that you just heard is a testament to how far we have come. But make no mistake, did not happen by accident or just because we live in a liberal state. We have spent countless hours and resources changing the hearts and minds. And this is in large part to the dedicated work of Sister Anila Abzali, our Executive Director of MAPS Amen. She worked so hard. Last year alone, she participated in or spoke at over 100 events in our state and around the nation. We live in times where it's not enough to do the right things, but also need to effectively communicate them. When you see Seattle Muslims and MAPS on the front page of Seattle Times, as it happened a few days ago, with links to live stream of Taraweeh prayer, know that this did not happen by accident. When you see state offices, including Muslim women in their posters, again, know that this is not a random outcome. These are subtle changes in perceptions with enormous outcomes for our community. I don't think of this as moving the needle for MAPS, but for the entire Muslim community in the Northwest. In short, there is no doubt that MAPS has moved the needle in integrating the Muslim community in the state in a big way over the last 10 years. Here is how I would summarize as I come to the conclusion. We went from being an insular community driven by our insecurities and survival instincts to one that has come of age, confident about our role, our identity, taking a leadership role in the community, receiving recognition and support from the broader community. We did so following the footsteps and example of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and without compromising our values. We are now embarking on the next stage in our journey. I believe that we as an organization is ready to contribute to the moral and intellectual leadership to advance the theory that religious institutions can be a force for good in American society. At the same time, we are transforming MAPS from a local organization in the Northwest corner of America to a leading Muslim institution in the country. I sincerely believe that MAPS, having established the foundation, having a clear moral compass, and having created an infrastructure that is already serving and assisting the needs of people is uniquely poised to take on these challenges. You are virtually here today to realize this vision by providing us the financial resources to continue this journey. We have a huge momentum and human intellectual capital and the will to take this mission to reality. Let me net this out for you. In 2020, we need to raise $1.95 million, of which 1.2 is for operating our 41st square thousand feet facility and for paying our staff who provide all the services that we enjoy. Given the dire need felt in the community in the aftermath of COVID-19, we have allocated $750,000 to provide services to the people in need. This year's budget is a third less than what we raised last year. These are tough times, so we have had to make adjustments like all of us in our own individual lives. Today, we have raised, before the fundraiser, about $500,000 from about 110 people. We need to take it to at least $1.2 million by the end of Ramadan and have 1,000 people participate in this campaign. In the end, I will leave you with this thought. Building an institution is hard, but sustaining is even harder. With your du'as and generosity, I know that MAPS will thrive and grow for the next 100 years in the hands of our children. Inshallah, I'm counting on all of us to do our part today and in these 10 days, blessed days of Ramadan, to make this vision a reality. Jazakallah khairan.